Hello, my name is Pickles, and today I'm going to explain why I didn't star in the hit 2003 French animated series Code Lyoko. A whole lot of things about the development of the show you might not have heard of will be revealed in this video, so strap in, or strap on, but the latter is optional. Grab your favorite dildo, and start jacking off your cocks in anticipation. Now our story begins in the year 2001. The pilot for the show Garage Kids, which would eventually become the Code Lyoko we all know and love, was a resounding success, and the last season of the acclaimed Nicktoon Rugrats was wrapping up production. At the time, I wasn't sure if I would return for the Rugrats sequel all grown up, due to the fact that I wanted to focus on my gay porn career during this time. The staff wished me luck in my endeavors and mentioned that, if I ever wanted to return, they'd put me in without hesitation. So after Rugrats, me and Barney, at the time my boyfriend, would take a vacation to France, both to take in the sights, and also to work on my newest porno at the time, Double Baguette Delivery Service. One day, while filming, I was noticed by one Thomas Romain, who recognized me from Rugrats and loved my acting. He offered me to play the character that would eventually become Jeremy Belpoise, and for the rest of the day, I spoke about it with Barney, who encouraged me to go for the role. I got in contact with Romain and told him I was in, and he was super hyped. Ecstatic, I unleashed my swell milk all over Barney like swa 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 bag. That was swell. The next day I arrived at Andy Films production and suggested some swell changes to make the animated series better. Unfortunately, however, Romain and Tania Palumbo disagreed with my changes and ultimately made me leave the series. What changes did I request? Calm the fuck down, and I'll tell you what I suggested. Jeremy was going to be written as a closeted homosexual who's struggling with the fact that he's gay. He'd secretly write fanfiction of all the boys in Caddick Academy having super swell orgies with each other. One day he'd discover the factory, which would still lead to Lyoko like it does in the final show. In my version, Lyoko would have 6 sectors, with Sector 5 being named Sector 6 in this version. So what was the original Sector 5, you may ask? A male strip club. This is where Jeremy would eventually meet Elena, who was originally a femboy. I originally wanted Yumi Ishiyama to be killed off early in the series, but when they declined, I turned her into a massive lesbian who ogles sissy whenever she could. I originally wanted to make Abdella Robbie overly gay, but after getting to know him better, I opted to allow him to express his bisexuality, but he would always have a massive crush on Jeremy. When I was taken off the series, I even introduced him to my foot-obsessed brothers to Pickles, as thanks. Ulrich's turn was mostly unchanged, but Yumi would never reciprocate his crush, because I turned her into a lesbian. Savannah would have actually made a physical appearance in my version, as a homophobic manager, but Romain and Palumbo would eventually introduce a mandate to never give Savannah a physical form, after his homophobia scared test audiences, which would ultimately be done one time in the end of Ghost Channel. If you watched the series, or at least the episode, you know what scene I'm talking about. William wasn't written into the series yet. Now that we've gone over the main characters, the plot was slightly changed. It still followed the formula of Savannah's doing bad shit, go to Lyoko and stop him, but he primarily did hate crimes against gay people, owing to his homophobia. Femboy Elena wouldn't be able to go into towers in this version, but instead he would find a hole in one of the towers, rape it like and coming it like swa 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 bag. That was swell. The amount of femboy cum would cause the tower to deactivate and the day would be saved for now. Upon everyone, except for Yumi due to being a lesbian, getting devirtualized, we would have a massive orgy like this video was made to celebrate Code Lyoko's 20th anniversary. Bag. That was swell. Upon hearing my changes, however, Romain and Palumbo got so pissed off and said, while we did want to make a series with stuff that's hard to imagine seeing in a kid's cartoon, everything you're suggesting would easily turn this into a raunchy adult cartoon for gay porn addicts like you. And I told them that, if you dislike what I suggested, then I guess this show will go on without me. Now fuck off and don't try to contact me again. I remembered telling Barney about my experience in the show, and he suggested that, after we finished double baguette delivery service, we should make our own version of Code Lyoko based on what you suggested, complete with more members of the Barney bunch. Hell, maybe we could even give Charlotte the part of Yumi just so she could be killed off. And in New Year's Eve 2003, we released Strip Eggs, Code Rainbow, blending both traditional animation and CGI into one super swell porno. Many of the ideas I had for my version of Code Lyoko were repurposed for our gay porno. Oh Elida, now the Quaker queer, being a femboy was dropped. Anyway, that about wraps up my retrospective on Code Lyoko and what could have been. Now, if you excuse me, we are going to have a classic gay porno night, the porno in question being Strip Eggs, Code Rainbow. See you sometime, and until then, I'm always thinking about crawling into your bed and having a swell time raping you, as long as you are male. And happy 20th anniversary to Code Lyoko.